welcome to Trees Craft some more. Today we're going to make a fall candle holder. So let's get started. I've got a jar here. This was a pickle jar. I have cleaned it with rubbing alcohol and paper towel just to get any remaining glue from the decal on it and smudges. I have some Mod Podge in here that I poured in this little container. This is from those orange rolls and the cinnamon rolls you get, and I was cleaning out, use it for paint and things like that. I have a paintbrush, and again I'm using Mod Podge. This is the orange label one. I have a candle that I'm going to put inside there. I got this at the dollar store. The Mod Podge I got at Walmart. I have a pair of scissors. I have some baker's twine. And this is a orange and white one, which I don't know if you can see that or not. And I have some fall fake leaves. And I have kind of two different sizes. I have just a couple that are a little bit bigger than most of them are the smaller ones. They're fairly thin. See if you can see how thin that is. It's, I got those. I've had those for quite a while. It's just what I've got left over. I think I got those at Michael's. But I'm sure you could find them at another craft store, or maybe the dollar store will put them out this year, some fall leaves like that. If not, the dollar store always puts out the leaves, the garland leaves, and maybe you could pull the leaves off the garland and use those. The thinner the better, because we're going to stick them to the jar, and they'll just stick on the jar better that way. And let's see, I've got a hot glue gun, and I've got a piece of paper down under what I'm doing. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start putting Mod Podge on the whole jar, and I'm going to start from right after the rim here, the grooves on the rim, and I'm going to cover the whole jar in Mod Podge and just try to do nice even sweeps downward. And if a little gets up in the area you don't want it, that's fine too. I've done a section here, and now I'm going to take some leaves and I'm going to start putting some of those on there. So I'll start with my big one, and I'm just going to kind of arrange them on there. This one I'm going to do kind of at an angle. I don't want to do them all like straight up and down. I think it'll just look better this way. So I'm going to have one right there, and so you can see that. And then I'm going to put another one, and I'm going to probably kind of turn it a little bit different, maybe a little bit lower, like this. And now I'm going to dip my brush and I'm going to go back over the leaf, and I'm going to kind of hold on to the leaf with my thumb, hold it down as I start doing this. And yes, you're going to get Mod Podge on your fingers. You want the leaf down from the rim, because if it's hanging over it, it's not going to seal to the jar at all. Like I said, the thinner the better. Now another thing you could do is, if you don't have these leaves, if you can't find them, or you can't find thin enough ones, because even the thin ones don't like to stick to the jar very well, but I can get them, work with them. If you can't find them, you could get decals, like window. decals, and if you could find leaf ones, you could put those on the jar instead. So I've got those two going on right there. Let's see if I can show you. So I'm trying to hold on to the jar on the inside of it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start my next little section here. Again, I'm just going to go down with this. Now, for anybody who hasn't worked with Mod Podge, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Mod Podge, that's what I call it. It does, even though it's going on white, it's going to dry clear. This one I'll go ahead and put straight up, since the other ones are kind of at an angle. And this one here, the orange one, is gonna give it kind of a shininess to it too when it dries. This little small one here, I'm going to put at an angle, so like this. I'm trying to get them at different levels. So I'm going to go back over those, holding onto a piece of the leaf as I do it, with the Mod Podge, and it will move around on you. You're just going to have to kind of work with it and secure it down again and put it where you want it. And even where you don't have leaves, you put the Mod Podge. All the way down to the bottom of the jar. With the whole jar covered. Now if you wanted, you could add some glitter on top of this even, while it's wet. I think it'd look better like lightly glittered, not like just drowned in glitter, but just, you know, give it a bit of a sparkle. So there is our first layer. All the leaves have been covered on top of the leaves and underneath the leaves on the jar with the Mod Podge. The whole jar is covered. Now we're going to go ahead and let that dry. About 45 minutes, I'm going to say. Make sure it's good and dry. And then we'll come back, we'll look at the jar, see if there's any spots that need coated over again. Leaves pushed down again, maybe they've popped up a little bit. I just want to check out my jar first to make sure there's not too many empty locations in my jar. I think I've got enough leaves on there. I don't know, I probably would have liked maybe, if I would have put them a little lower, I could have got a couple more leaves in there. That probably would have looked better. Maybe if I lower this one, I can move it over, I can fit one in, you know? I think I'll go ahead and do that. Because I want it a little fuller, I don't want it too empty. I don't plan on putting any glitter on this one myself, Again, I think on this side, I will, because it's still wet, I can move them around. Move this one over here, this one down a little bit here towards the bottom, and see if I can get one more of the smaller ones in here. Just so it looks a little fuller. We'll go down like this. You know, I'm trying to make sure the leaves are not touching, because then it looks too crowded. Almost wasn't room for this one. But I think I can get it in here somehow. I don't know. I'm still maneuvering it a little bit right now. Maybe up a little higher. And I'll move this one over. There we go. Okay. Again, they are popped up just a little bit. I'm going to go back over it again after they dry, making sure none are popped up over the edge there, because they won't seal that way. Okay, I think that is good right there. Yeah, that's a little bit fuller. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna let that dry, and I got a spray leaf here. And then we'll come back and see what we need to secure down. Maybe put another layer over the whole entire thing of Mod Podge. Okay, so it's dried for like 45 minutes. I am going to take some more Mod Podge, and I'm going to do my second layer now over the bottle, all the way again from the top to the bottom, and doing this, making sure I secure down anything that looks like it's popped up. I think I've gone around the whole jar again. This time I'm going to dry it upside down. And the reason I'm doing that is because when I did it, I just went right over, probably in a little bit thicker of a layer real quickly. It was a little bit more drippy. So when it drips down, I don't want it to get so much on the bottom edge of the bottle that it sticks to the paper that I have it sitting on. I'm okay if it gets up on the rim a little bit. I'm going to be putting the baker's twine around the rim when this is dry anyway, so it won't matter. And we're going to let that dry again. And pretty much you know it's dry when it's clear. Alrighty, so now this one has dried. There's a couple little tiny spots right up here at the top where it looks a little bit white still, a little wet. For the most part, it's dried really well. I'm going to go ahead and start the baker's twine on it. And you could find something else to put on there besides baker's twine. Maybe some regular twine, the brown twine, you could put on there. So, and this is a little skinny, so I will have to put more layers on than I would if I did put the regular twine on. I think I'm going to unwrap some. Good amount. Put a dab of glue on. Put my string in there. I have a bit that hangs off on the other side of the glue. I'll just cut that off or wrap the other yarn or twine on top of it so it won't be sticking out. And I'm going to start at the bottom of the rim and just wrap it around several times. Maybe put another dab of glue in. Put it back in there. Continue wrapping it around. And it will take more of this than the regular. I think I just said that. Okay. There we go. A bit of a knot at the end of this piece that I cut off, which is weird. Oh, there it goes. It came out. All right. So again, I'm going to put a dab of glue on and put that in there. Worry about the little piece that's sticking out. I don't know if you can see it. When I'm done here. And I don't want glue on my bottle. I have a piece of little stringy glue that just came off. There we go. My dogs are barking at a truck. Oh, one of them is. I have 3 dogs, which you've probably seen in my other video, one of my other videos. Yeah, so any big truck that's out front, they bark at. They also bark at the mailman. They didn't used to do that, and then they started doing that, and it seems like they pick up something new to bark at every month. So it's the mailman they like to bark at. That's the newest one. They also like to bark at this guy goes down the street with a little cart, and he honks a horn. I think he's selling corn on the cob or something in it. But he honks this kind of a tricycle or bicycle horn. I don't know, like, you know, the kind you squeeze. And my dogs absolutely hate that. they always bark when they hear him come in, and I swear he stands out in front of our house for a couple seconds. And now you get to hear my dogs in the background drinking water. Son of a gun, that hurt. Ouch, hot. Alright. I should say, be careful with hot glue when using it, because you could burn your fingers like I just did. I'm trying to get the very top of the string right at the edge. Hold it down like that. So this glue that's stuck onto me. What I'm doing now is I am going around and trying to make sure I don't have any gaps up here. I'm going to cut one more string here. Pushing it on kind of. So just kind of take your jar and go around and hold it out. See a lot of gaps right here on this side. So when I get done with this, I'll clean it up a little bit. I will cut off the little strands of string that are hanging out very carefully. Maybe pull any of the little glue pieces that are like little stringy pieces that are hanging out. Like right here, I need to glue this down a little more, like here at this edge. Dot. Gap right there. And I'll probably come down here at the rim. Right here, just with one more string going, or you know, big long strand going around right there at that edge too. after filling in the gaps. So I'm going to go ahead and do all this off camera. And here's the finished candle holder while it's still light outside, and then I will show you the candle holder with it dark and lit. And here is the candle lit in the dark. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe.